trading ideas for the week of March 28, 2022. The purpose of our segment is to provide you accurate data that could provide you with trading and investing opportunity. So really no gut feelings with these information. With that in mind, let's dive in and look at some of the economic opportunities coming up as far as informations. So hopefully we can put it to use as far as, again, profitable trading. This week I've decided to put the earnings in a golden orange color, and any type of trading event coming up that could be in commodities, for instance, in blue, and then in green, we shall see that those are the trading strategies that we use. So on Monday, we have the South Korea, Germany, France, Argentina. They all are coming with their consumer confidence. We have an interesting earnings coming up Monday morning before the opening, which is the XPeng, the electric vehicles from China. And then after earnings, we have after the close, we have Lucid. On Tuesday, we have the US S&P Case-Shiller home price, which is year over year. It's coming at 6 a.m. So it's important to watch. Again, the housing is a big component of our economy. So we want to see how they are doing. There's been some slowdown. And then US JOLTS job opening is for the month of February, which is very important to see how much there's job openings. And also there's going to be the quits and how many people are quitting jobs. Now, this is the busiest day for the earnings. And again, for me, the most important earning is Micron Technology in semiconductor segment industry. And we want to watch that closely. One word of caution, based on my studies in the last 20 years, April is not the most favorable month for Micron as far as seasonality goes. Sometimes they're up 60% of the time, 40%. So it is not one of those really successful like 80 or 100%. So just keep that in mind. And we also have the Restoration Hardware, Lululemon, and Sundial Growers coming all after the close. On Wednesday, we have Italy, Brazil, and France coming with the PPI, which is the producers in inflation. So we want to watch that closely. And Germany and the Eurozone, Euro area, they will come with their inflation rates. It's also important to notice that a lot of, again, the Fed presidents, a lot of central banks around the world, from Australia to UK and Euro, they all going around talking to the investors and to the constituents as far as their plans for the interest rates, inflation comeback, what is happening geopolitically, the job outlook. So it's important to watch the ECB President Lagarde, and she will have the speech on Wednesday. Russia will have their unemployment rate and their GDP, as well as the US, which will have the GDP. And then we have the China, along many other countries, will come up with their PMI numbers, which is the Purchasers Managing Index, and it will show us as far as the activities in the economy. We also have at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Coast time, we have the crude oil inventories. I put it, as I mentioned, in blue. And these are, if you like to trade crude oil, for instance, watch for these numbers, which will tell us as far as the supplies and what's going on. As far as Thursday, it's a busy day again. Germany, Italy, Euro area, Brazil, they all have their unemployment rate number coming up. As far as about 9 a.m., we have the US, their quarterly grain stocks, and also the planting at that time. So if you're interested in wheat, corn, and soybean, these are the times that you have to watch for. So it is, again, if you're trading in that. The US will have also Chicago, again, another PMI. And then we have the pace of PCE, which it tells us as far as the inflation, which again, Fed follows this. We have OPEC and non-OPEC the ministers meeting. So again, that's important to see what is their attitude, what they're going to do as far as the oil production. And then Japan will have a series of information about large and smaller manufacturing. That's they're called Tankan, and Tankan is again, it's their economic activity numbers. So let's watch for that. Those two greens, as always, we have Thursdays, we have our gold trade. And then it is Thursday is the last day of the month and also the quarter. So there could be some window dressing going on. Usually end of the month is tries to be positive. Again, especially it's a quarterly. So just be aware of that if you're trading. And if you are on the short side, just be aware. On Friday, I think it's the most important day of the week. We have the Euro's inflation numbers. Spain, Turkey, Italy, Euro area, UK, South Africa, and Brazil will have their PMI numbers. Russia will have their GDP growth number. US will have non-farm payrolls, ISM manufacturing, which is again the activities United States, and that non-farm payroll and unemployment numbers and wages growth numbers are very, very important. And that's what the Fed is watching. So with that in mind, we have that our NFP trade at 5:30 a.m. Watch for that. It's important to see how the rest of the day is going to shape up based on that. We also have as always at 11, we have the US in the United States, Baker Hughes rig count. We want to see how many rigs are active. And the last but not least is the Friday is the first day of the month. And also remember, it's tax season. It's in the United States. We're coming to the filing. Already there's been quite a few filing done. So again, most of the time on the first day of the month is a flow of funds coming in. So generally they become positive. So just again, that's a food for thought. So the last thing what I want to do, I thought this week, well, when we started with the new segment and decided to look at some screens to come up with some candidates for the week and the weeks to come, whether you want to use option strategies or you're looking for candidates for more of a long-term investments. These are the 19 candidates that we have, and these are the stocks that the mutual funds institutions are buying. And the way we see that is basically looking at the high degree of accumulation distribution rating. So we're really looking for like a B and above. So the higher, the more accumulation from a variety of funds have been happening. So now this sponsorship rating is how good are these funds, how well they have performed. So obviously the higher the rating, the better it is. So some of them have done very well, some of them not so well. So you can look at that. The whole purpose is looking at, again, the accumulation, but also these are very strong from fundamental point of view, as well as the technical, the relative strength. They have done well. Their industry is strong as well, and their fundamental from the sales and the margins, they are pretty healthy. So there are 19 of them. They're fairly valued, so they're interesting that you could, they're not very, very expensive. So they just as a food for thought. You can review it in upcoming days, see if there's anything attractive there. So with that in mind, I will like to wish you a prosperous and healthy week ahead till we meet again next Sunday. Thank you very much.